Let's all sip.
Sir, hey, we're having a private meeting in here.
That's the governor.
It's so funny how little
All
we
right,
have fucking
Justice Hart, Nino,
account.
Dr. Naya, this is Governor Koil.
Hello, sir.
Nice to meet you.
Mr. Oil, if you like.
Yeah, Mr. Oil.
I love the best oil.
I have a badge as well, just in case you wanted to.
Oh,
Oh,
That's
shit.
good. very fancy.
Good badge.
I am a professional, and I have a badge to prove it.
All right. Very impressive.
So, right now we're
Nice t-shirt.
discussing. I'm getting filled in as to earlier today. Pred who's the mayor of Blaine County, was removed as.
Hold on.
Oh God.
I'm here just to ask what is happening with the letter and the legislation. I don't care about all your politics unless there's a file on my table.
Yes, we have completed it. So as of Sunday night, it was got some notes in it, and the final draft should be available within the next hour.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, within the next hour. Perfect
That is
timing.
correct.
Yes.
Hey, do you happen to know when it was that letter was responded, the date by chance?
Yes. Give me a sec.
I always like the model don't sweat the small stuff when it comes to everything in life.
November.
I am very
4th,
bad at sweating the small
4:54
stuff,
a.m.
but I have an anxiety disorder. I'm trying to overcome that. I do my best.
Okay, well, let me just check my calendar here.
Yes, it's been a while.
It's a month.
Yes, it has.
Oh, almost a month. I guess that's okay. Sure, I mean that's okay. Well, if it's already moving in, by chance, do you think you could shoot that over to me at some point since you have my number? What is exactly the process that is happening to, confirm that this is okay to be passed? Who exactly votes on it or is in agreement with it to make it happen?
The
fucking I know, dude.
Updated document.
Yes, the changes.
It was myself, Pred, so both the mayors, Dr. Naya, who's the head of Sama, Hart, and Hollow.
Yes. We all agreed with all of them.
Who is who here, by the way?
I'm Justice Hart. No, you're all right.
Oh.
And then Hallow is
I am
the side here, but I doubt he responds.
And I'm Naya.
Oh, hello. And what was your name, sir?
I'm Hallow.
Oh, you're Hallow. Right. Okay. I get it. I might forget your names, but I guess you're all like important people, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I would agree to that answer. Yes.
Okay.
We try.
Well, that's all fine. If you can send that over to me as soon as possible, I would love to look at it. Even if it's a draft, as long as it doesn't have any capital letters in it, Mr. Mayor, that would be great. Just normal, everyday punctuation would be superb.
I will send you the draft right now.
It's actually kind of great.
Those final edits are going to be rather minor.
Sure. Okay, well, listen, I don't know if there's any other things you would like to discuss, but I'm going to go and, I guess, read over this. And if there's anything vital, I'll be back shortly and we can discuss it. But if it's nonsensual politics and, your friend, Mr. What did you say his name was?
The mayor of Blaine County?
Yes, the other asshole that signed the document with capital letters written by a 12-year-old.
That sounds like it.
Yes, if there's any other issues, I guess we can talk about it then. And just try to keep it quick. I don't have all day is all. Okay?
Of course.
The letter is in your inbox.
Thank you so much. I'll be back shortly.
Appreciate you.
Oh, that's what he's talking about.
That's about the equivalent of what I've been
Yes,
emailing
that's about right.
That's an improvement. to be honest.
Yes.
Well, I mean
well.
specifically in relation to what happened to Pred. That wasn't. I was talking shit to both of you.
Right. Well, although he doesn't seem to care, I'm happy to try to clear it up. Although I was asleep while those discussions occurred, unfortunately.
Oh my God. Okay. Hot. I do apologize if that is the
Oh
case.
no, it's alright.
I am. Look, I'm fucking exhausted
I
to be
understand.
honest. And I'm gonna tell. I want to. Look, I want to be transparent with you guys.
Mhm.
I'm exhausted because what I foresee right now as a consequence of what just happened is I foresee filing impeachment after impeachment. I have withheld that document I gave you, hello. I've withheld
Mhm.
my staff from filing 4 different copies of that for the past 2.5 months.
What, the impeachment?
Oh my
Yes,
God.
the
Okay.
4 different copies. Now,
Okay.
regardless of and regardless of
Time for a
whether you
cat to
care,
frown.
don't care, whatever,
Angry face.
I recognize that has a very negative effect,
Mhm.
especially with the lack
Oh,
of
you having
individuals
conflict with the mayor?
that are willing
Don't
to
tell
do
Moon
some
I'm
of the
running it back.
positions that are available, right? I
Right.
also have some level of sympathy of understanding, as much as I hate some of those motherfuckers, that the certain like BCSO
Mhm.
needs to function.
Mhm.
But as a consequence of this, of what happened, I don't want to go and start mass filing impeachments, doing writs of mandamus, making it a literal hell of litigation that is going to fuck you guys, fuck the justices, fuck everyone that had anything to do with it. And this isn't a threat. This is more like I feel like this is what the
Got racing
appropriate
music in the
response would
background.
be.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying here? I am exhausted knowing that that's probably what is going to come out of this.
No, I understand. I'm happy to try to remedy things, in avoiding that if possible. But I absolutely understand your need to do your job and your passion for wanting to get it right, even if we might not agree on what that is. So I have no issue with any of it. Hopefully, we can sort something out at least, so we don't have to do that.
This might help things a little bit.
Mhm.
I am going to make what is it called when you state a, sorry, I'm fucking cooked. I've been awake for a while.
It's alright.
What do you, I'm gonna state I'm gonna make a premise here, right? And that's not the exact right word I'm looking for, but I'm gonna use it anyways because I think you know what I mean.
Of course.
Pred is still the mayor of Blaine County. Am I right or wrong?
As of this moment, he is not. His position was revoked, and
Sorry, one
Due to
second.
the
I
fact.
don't appear to have the document sent to my phone. I would much prefer not to go to my secure laptop in the middle of the FIB building right now to be safe with the alien technology in it. By the way, I
What?
say to you, strictly put and be shared.
Is that the governor?
that sounds. What? That went wonderfully.
Why does this guy look like Kyle Pred's dead?
I could see that. Yes.
It kind of does. It kind of does.
Is it because of the outfit he was wearing? It did quite
Yeah.
look Pred coded.
It was very Predish.
Look, I'll be honest, I quite like Pred. I've always called him the attractive, loud, shouty man. I was quite excited to work with him, so I have
He's-
no
he's
personal concern regarding his position. Just according to legislation, as it currently stands, he had to be removed, from my understanding.
I will say, I am very disappointed. I am very sad that just fucking what a little bit over 24 hours ago we were here having like
I know, it went
actual
so
proper
well.
discussions
Yes.
and Brad was gonna set up a meeting with you both because he literally wasn't allowed to do anything with his mayorship whatsoever. And if we're honest, he got elected. We came here to get the keys from Angel. You were here, Hart. And before we even finished the thing, a fucking warrant was already put out for him. Right? It's like
That,
it,
oh,
it,
I
it
remember that. That was insane,
Yep.
admittedly. That was
and
insane.
this legislation is so open-ended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's insanely open-ended. It doesn't say that it shall be removed instantly. It doesn't say. It just says good standing.
High defending Fred
So
Swan.
Andy Jones
Yeah,
had
I'm not
traffic
surprised.
records. So should she have been removed then instantly? It's the same way. There's a lot of holes in. It does specify the felonies for deputy mayors and treasurer, but when it comes to the mayor itself, there's no specificity. It just says good standing with the criminal record.
I
So it's like
to play devil's advocate, and I know that some people might not like this opinion, but almost anything, no matter how many loopholes you try to avoid, could be interpreted differently from one person to another. There are enough of us that understood it to mean that the mayor was not allowed to have felonies. With good standing, you can see how it might mean not having
I
felonies, considering
understand.
within the state that's the only real bar to stop someone from holding businesses, from working as an officer, as a doctor. You can see how that makes sense as the standard. I can also see where you may be coming from. It's a forever struggle to try to figure out exactly where those loopholes should be allowed for and where you should assume something's common sense. I don't ever want to assume something would be common sense. That's true. So I wouldn't fault
What
anyone
is the
for.
name of the
Yes.
impeachment law? Because I'm having trouble find it. We do
Impeachment
have
law?
an
Let
impeachment
me see.
legislation.
I'm sorry if I'm kind of gonna try to redirect this a
No,
little
you're
bit.
all right. Go for it.
I want to replay this exercise.
Mhm.
Correct me. How is Kyle Pred not the mayor right now?
According to legislation, as it was understood by numerous judges' interpretation, he is no longer a citizen and considered to be in good standing, and therefore is ineligible
Do
to
they
sit
have the
in the seat.
power to do that?
It wasn't a judicial decision necessarily, as much as the legislation was interpreted by us.
Right, but that's a key component to all this. Is do y'all have the power to remove him? And if so, according to what line in the judicial power is codified?
Let me. According to the Constitution, to jump all the way back, since we have specifically we ensure the enforcement of laws, uphold justice, and protect the rights of citizens. We are the ones that have to actually uphold all of the legislation that has been passed, even if we have not written it ourselves. It's up for us to determine.
I agree with you. However, I'm going to throw you a counter argument. Is in the very same vein that the legislation that's being referenced to claim, and I say claim very specifically because there was no due process in any of this, is there's a claim on the table that Pred, an allegation that Pred needs to be removed because of what is being interpreted out of a court of law that he's no longer in good standing. And a executive decision removed his mayorship I hate to say this, took his keys away.
Right.
And I don't want to say, and I'm only saying this because there is no paperwork that says he was removed. There was, as far as I'm aware, only a state announcement.
Mhm.
I hate this. I don't know what other phraseology to use. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
No, that's fair. None of us here are idiots.
So
You're
I don't mean
perfectly
anything
happy to
more or
speak as
less
frank
than
as you
that.
need.
It's just, he in the computer system in City Hall
Of course.
said beep, digital key gone. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Tag
right.
removed.
Mhm.
There is no official documentation. There is no executive order. There's no judicial order, right?
Mhm.
So while I agree that the DOJ, per the Constitution, says this, they also got legislation that says judicial powers codified, which summates what your powers actually are. So in order to, I would argue that in order to reference the Constitution, you have to audit this document if the power doesn't currently exist.
I see the argument, but I think from our perspective, since the legislation as it stands just states that if someone were to no longer maintain good standing regarding their criminal records, they are removed. It does not state impeachment proceedings would be started. It does not state an ACR would be started. It does not state that anything needs to be on the docket. It just states once they are no longer in good standing, they are removed. So
Let
we
me-
removed them.
Let me take a look at this because maybe there's certain phraseology I'm missing.
Sure. I'm trying my
I
fucking
might
best, guys.
be,
I'm trying.
But I'm not being able to find the impeachment legislation.
The impeachment. Yes. Sorry. Let me see. I was looking. Got veered off again.
Yeah, that's okay.
Trust me, even I have trouble finding exactly what I'm looking for in all
Yeah.
of this.
I mean, this goes back to there was no due process for this. Who interpreted this?
The Impeachment and Authority Conduct Review is the name of that one. It's near the start.
Why when I search impeachment, nothing shows up? Oh, thank you. Appreciate you.
Sometimes the search function is extremely specific.
Yeah. Okay,
Almost too
appreciate
specific. Half the word will bring it up, but not the full word. Apologies, Nino. You were saying?
This is. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong one. Mayor Office's protocol and procedure, is it that one?
Let me see.
No.
I'm still very curious, Bobby, of how you even knew.
God, Koil, please come in and just make a decision. Please go in so I don't have to fucking do this anymore. I like Midi. I'm like actually trying really hard to fucking mediate this because I think we can. I'm doing my fucking best, but like I just I think we'll struggle the.
This is a question more than anything. You have the, what's the name of this? Members of Blaine County Mayor's Office position of their responsibilities, right?
Mhm.
And then you have, which is a Blaine County
Yes, that's
legislation,
Blaine
and
County
then you have
legislation,
the
it's not statewide.
impeachment,
You know.
Right.
which is statewide.
Mhm.
Shouldn't that supersede?
Not necessarily. Legislation doesn't supersede one another like that. They don't directly contradict. There's
Okay.
nowhere in this that states.
In regards to this document,
Well, so specifically for Blaine County, it was passed that
we
they were removed if they get a
Sure.
felony. So this applies to the
yeah, if
state
you can,
either way.
yeah, come on back. We'll have a chat.
He's just in Blaine County.
It's a coffee. Yeah. All right. I do not like this guy.
Oh, really?
Ooh, what? Governor?
It's just exhausting. Yeah.
Am I missing
I don't know
something?
how he
Oh.
does it, man. I'd be fucking exhausted if I were ready. No, I hope he was having fun on fucking tugs.
Oh,
Hello,
Hi there.
welcome back.
Hello.
say, I'm curious. With the choice of 50% of people voting, why don't you just make it a majority vote would pass?
That works.
Yeah, that works.
I think that was one of the edits. You should see it on the comment right on the right hand side.
Oh, I accidentally, when I was on my phone, I think I might have copy pasted that into Twitter, and I don't know if other people got to get into it, so you might want to make a copy of
Oh
it.
God.
Oh,
No, you're
God.
good. I already did.
Perfect. I think the CIA might have been in my phone, or the FIB, or the
Ru-
CXT,
I-
or
They do
yeah,
that.
no, hmm.
Okay.
So, succinctly,
What?
we had
He doesn't know
a
what that means.
mayor removed earlier today. We are questioning. I am questioning why there wasn't any due process.
Oh my god.
He was removed via a state announcement. There are no receipts available to myself or anyone that for anyone to find as to who removed it, who brought it forward. A piece of Blaine County legislation was referenced. However, I am arguing that any sort of removal would need to still go through an impeachment in order to allow for challenging the veracity of the allegations and for it to be.
Has anybody ever told you to just say it? Why do you take so long to talk?
Oh
It's
my
because
God.
because if I don't make sure I use the proper words, people get offended and think I'm saying something I'm not saying.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I mean,
just
I
hate
can say it a
standing in
different way.
offices like this. They smell dusty and
Yeah.
it just
I can be a
irks me.
lot more
that's
frank.
what-
Would you like more
Sure.
frank?
Oh, and here, go
I like
for it.
Frank.
Go
Be
for it. We
succinct.
all understand.
A bunch of dumb fucks in the DOJ took away Pred's keys, and none of it is documented. So I'm trying to hold myself from losing my cool and trying to understand
Okay.
how the
Good
fuck
enough.
anyone thought that was a good fucking idea.
Isn't this man here a justice or whatever they call them?
We
here?
Well,
both are,
apparently they
yes.
don't know the full story either.
Yeah, heart is
Oh.
also justice.
Hello. Yes, I was asleep. Unfortunately, I'm piecing it together.
Well, yes. I mean, that's great. I believe if you're to document it, you can always write an email or a notice or whatever it may be, but I don't exactly want to sit here and go over it unless those people are around to discuss it. Otherwise, it seems like it would be a topic of conversation that would go nowhere. I don't want to tread on people's feet or
Sure.
anything of the sort. It is still technically in your jurisdiction, and you shall be able to handle it. Unless, of course, you can't, and then obviously, I can come back and feel miserable for a week.
I
Not
think
We're
we're
gonna need you
trying
to feel
to.
miserable for a week.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
so we're trying to.
Maybe
We're
a month.
hoping that we can prevent a lot of paperwork because these
Document
guys
the
like to take
coffee.
a couple weeks to get anything done.
Who exactly did it, and where are they?
Well,
It was brought up by
Pred,
a BCSO deputy stating that Pred violated a legislation. Legislation
hold
states
on.
that if some okay
A BCSO deputy did what now?
brought up to a judge that Pred violated a legislation. The legislation states
Walking around
if
as a
somebody, if
taken
the mayor is
Tim's.
not
I think
within
it's a
good
great look.
standing of the penal code or on their criminal record, they're to be removed as mayor.
Okay, and what's on his criminal record?
The felony
He
now.
received 2 contempts and a felony. Felony was violating a court order.
Interesting. What was the court order? I assume probably to do with the contempt.
No, the court order was he had a court case against him for alleged embezzling, which I found him not guilty of. And the court order was not to touch any Blaine County funds until his verdict was rendered on the embezzling stuff, and he still decided to go in and withdraw funds.
Ah, interesting.
Yes, it was very clearly documented on the docket not to do so.
He was embezzling money.
That was
Wow.
that's what they were charging him with, but he wasn't found guilty of it.
Oh,
So he survived his court case, but got a felony.
Yes.
of
he got a
contempt.
felony for violating a court order not to
Violating
touch the
court
money.
order.
Yeah.
so is there any documentation anybody has written based on the impeachment process itself by chance?
These guys just took the fucking keys.
Yes, I understand that. I understand that. And they might very well have the capabilities to do so. Whether or not it is
He
justified,
absolutely
though, I
understands.
believe when we first
I don't know
documented
what
our
Coil's take will be. That's the funny
legislative
part about this.
pieces, there was
But
information
at least once
based on
Coil decides,
impeachment and its
hopefully we can
process,
chill the fuck out.
from my understanding, that it would be required to go through a court system and the state, I believe, but I am not entirely sure.
Correct. There is an
Yep.
impeachment
But-
process for
Correct.
individuals within the government body. The issue is that there is a separate legislation within Blaine County that which brings up that they're to be removed. It doesn't mention anything about a formal process for it, but then that
Yes.
brings into play: does county supersede state? Does state supersede county? Et cetera, et cetera.
Does county supersede state?
Yes.
I don't.
Because
Look,
it's the
I
one that he
don't
directly
think so.
follows. That's why That's why
I
it got
am
brought up.
going to assert that there was zero due process. Keys were taken. It should have went through impeachment. The entire removal of his keys was inherently illegal.
My God.
I think what we're trying to prevent here is a shitload of docket filings to reverse all of this. Quite frankly,
Well, I'll tell you that's more than likely what will need to happen, but the law itself and its conflictions, if there is multiple pieces of legislation, would be interesting to understand. Do you happen to know the impeachment legislative piece by chance?
Yep. Where is it? Should be towards the bottom.
It
here.
is. The impeachment one is
Is-
impeachments and authority conduct review.
Nine
Oh, I think I
one
see it.
9 8.
Yes, I see. I'll go and give it a quick read. Do you happen to have the document number of the case? I'll look it up. I'm sure he hasn't been charged all that much, right?
It was the most recent.
More than
it's the
you'd
most
think,
recent
but
document
yes,
closed.
it is
right.
recent.
Generally, we're good at embezzling. Am I right, guys?
They did not get him on
No,
embezzling.
they
Oh,
didn't. Yes,
Yeah,
Right.
no,
I love
Oh,
and
yes.
proper
guilty,
paperwork.
so
And proper
that's good on that
paperwork
one.
meant he'd got off of it.
Sounds like New York City. Hey, I'm gonna go back to the office and have a quick read, and then I'll
Alright.
come back again.
Of course.
Again, like I said, I don't want to undermine the authority in which is here anyway. If something has happened and it is improper, I can direct it to go through the right procedures. But I
course.
believe you as the authorities you are should be able to handle what has happened here. But I believe haste is generally a problem. So I'll either way go and have a look, and I can give my advice or my opinion on things, but I will not change anything.
All right. Well,
Do
we
you
appreciate
also
your
want to
opinion.
know
Oh yes,
the number for the Blaine County legislation that kind of contradicts
Sure.
impeachment?
Or the name, sure.
It's 11299.
Okay, thank you. I shall go have a read.
All right.
I'll
Thank you
be
so
back.
much, Governor.
Later.
All right.
Oh my god, it smells so dusty in there.
Okay, well that
feel like
piece
I'm in
is
that
sorted.
Principal's-
Sure. Well, I suppose
principal's
we'll see what they have to say.
Yeah.
What? Okay. You didn't actually mean does county supersede state, right?
I'm saying it was brought up. I'm not saying I questioned it.
I got you. Okay. He responded, and that's why I was looking for clarification. Where were we?
Ideally, there wouldn't be a contradiction, but unfortunately, we've now found.
I
so.
I was thinking I don't know why the Blaine County one got passed if it contradicts the impeachment legislation.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
it-
can, right? Because it's like this. It's you that counties can still limit powers, and get it passed, but it can still be challenged. Things are gonna pass, right? There's gonna be you guys might pass some things and new justices come in. I'm not saying you guys are losing your job or anything like that, but I'm saying like in the future, there's gonna be new justices, new mayors and shit.
Absolutely.
And they may feel something is unconstitutional, hence the audit process. Shit like that's going to happen. But I think the thing that's being pointed at here is even if that this legislation is accurate, is that there's nothing wrong with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that the county is still empowered for the removal.
Mm-hmm.
The removal is separate. It's a separate action.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, who would be allowed to do that then?
I would assert that it's the DOJ
Is that not what
following
we
an
did?
impeachment hearing. I mean, it
Mhm.
would be something as simple as Kyle Pred is being impeached because he now has a felony,
Based on
citing
this
the court
law.
case.
Mm-hmm.
Really that simple. That's what should have been done, not whatever the fuck happened over the last 8 hours.
Yeah.
It did seem like a very rushed decision after we'd noticed that error.
I would
I-
argue that it's a
Mhm.
very impeachable decision and perhaps worse.
Hollow, you said you didn't
Dude, we're all
sign
trying
off
our
on
best,
that
man.
either?
I made it clear that I was not giving my opinion.
Okay, okay.
Did that's even
To be clear, this was a group discussion that did not involve any necessary signing off. It was
that's so much worse.
Well, I'm just
That's
we
trying to
so
figure
much
out
trust
if this was
worse.
a
members of our
choice made
Department
by
of Justice
just
to make
judges
decisions.
and no
I-
justices.
Yeah, but we can't. But that's not. Look, we can't trust them. I can't. That's a bad kind of trust, right? I trust Tilly, not like I don't. But I'm not gonna put her in a room with a bed in it because she's gonna fucking piss all over it.
That's true, she would. We all know that.
We're talking about judges talking about. They're like self-conflicting each other on the matter. And hopefully it wasn't a lot. Like maybe there was 2, 3 or some shit like that. But
It was
even
every
then,
single judge.
oh my god, I'm gonna.
I'm
jump
just
out of
kidding.
the
I'm just
fucking
fucking with you.
It
I'm
was
just
not.
fucking
I
with
was
Oh
not
my
done
god.
yet.
Hello.
Earlier I was
Dude,
imagining myself in a
Go back
very.
to WoW. God damn it.
I was having a dream
I'm s-
earlier,
I
and
do
in
not
that
want to throw anyone
dream,
under the bus for the
like
shit.
I was young again, and I had a knife in my first like thing, like a little switchblade, and I definitely checked for a second.
Oh my god.
I think here's my personal opinion.
Sure.
Oh
god, I wish you were. Dude.
this legislation
Fucking,
in
no,
Blaine
Jesus, I wish
County
it was.
is whatever. That's fair.
Sure.
I think the only difference that this should make is that once an impeachment hearing is conducted, this law is brought up as one of the reasons for impeachment, not
Right.
as this is the law, so fuck the impeachment laws.
I'm still of the mind that we trash everything and start over.
Oh yeah, are
you
you,
know,
are you
I-
going to start over?
How
Are you
gonna
going to
say
write
that,
it all,
but
Helen?
then you didn't want to reverse the legislation, right? Like that's literally what I was saying before. The shadow edits over since the Pred and I were put in should just be reversed back. Imagine what's happening right here, happening for each one of these fucking documents. Like, fucking start from scratch. Let's make sure shit's good, and then move forward.
I dare you
I
to
don't
ask the governor
want
that when he
this
comes back
headache
in.
It's your idea.
It's not my
You're
idea.
the one that want to. Hollow, you're the one.
Hallow's just trolling,
I'll bring it up.
always.
No, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. I don't give
Alright,
a fuck.
sure.
I'm not a pussy.
Hell yeah.
I'll fucking punch the guy in the mouth right now. if I
Oh
need
my
to.
god,
Oh, please
you,
do.
you definitely won't
that
do
would
that.
be hilarious.
Okay.
No, that would be
You're
great.
not going to be able to no balls me, all right?
No balls.
No
I-
balls.
No balls.
The thing is, no balls only works if the person telling me isn't a pussy. You know what I mean?
I'm not.
I know
Hey,
you would
I
know
said no balls.
If I was a pussy,
What the
then I
fuck
wouldn't
you
have shown
know?
up here.
If you
That is
were
true.
if you were a pussy, you wouldn't get fearful if I brought an alliance character over to your little realm over there.
I'm not scared of shit because I found out you can't even get your alliance character over to where I am. Fuck you, Nino.
Oh, he
I don't
researched
think
it,
I don't
you
think
know?
you realize
Oh fuck.
that's only if that would only be if I had a horde character already. So I don't know who you spoke to, but alliance characters do exist, and you probably talked to somebody who tried to make an alliance character after having a horde one. It was vanilla back when you could only have one side of both.
We're on vanilla though.
Yeah, you're on vanilla, so you can't have an alliance if you have a horde, but I don't have any character.
Oh,
Oh.
You
And the
can't
thing
kill
is, the
me.
way- The thing is, or alternatively, you're thinking that is it like a PvP or a PvE server?
I mean, it's just regular WoW.
Oh, there is no regular. There's still PvP and PvE.
No, like
Yeah,
it's
there's not-
PvE until you go to a PvP area.
Okay, so
Or like
what I
until
would
you
do,
/PvP or
what I
whatever.
would do is I would train a mob. Like I don't think you understand the shit. I used to fuck around in Torn Mill, like till the fucking world used to collapse.
Oh my god.
Listen, I know shit. All right. I'm gonna make sure you're like once you get in thorn veins. Oh my god, the amount of enemies you can like train into somebody, especially when you're a rogue. Because with a rogue, you can train a bunch of mobs over and then you just fucking vanish on top of whoever you want to fuck up. And then what?
Yeah, apparently somebody's going around
And then
doing
what?
that right now.
Hollow?
Sounds hilarious.
I'm not
And
gonna
what-
do those things.
I'm a warlock. I'll just send in my pet to tank for me, and I'll just leave.
It doesn't work
Pussy.
that way though.
Sacrifice.
You're going to end up pulling everything and
Yeah,
How are
dying.
you gonna
fine.
have your pet taunt multiple
Oh,
multiple
Yeah.
mobs?
I'll call my dad. He's John Warcraft.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah,
I'm
John,
sure
okay.
he is.
Oh man.
In all seriousness,
I
it
want
is-
Pred's keys back, but I don't want it. I don't want to demand it of you. I
Sure.
want, ideally, for us to come out of this, and I want this whole shit to just be reasonable. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
fair.
I just want to. It should go through impeachment motions. There's another
Mhm.
thing I want to bring up
Mhm.
before the governor comes through.
Mhm.
Is as far as I'm aware, Pred wanted a diversion program, and you were busy. Am I wrong about that? Hello?
Isn't
I'll be honest.
he
I
doesn't
haven't
get the diversion
looked into
program. He's already been well, actually, does that? I don't know how that works with expungements. Actually, I don't think that's written down anywhere.
But the thing is, he wanted one, and there wasn't time to discuss it. And I don't want to put the blame on you. You had shit to do. No one's going to stop you from doing it. But that was going to happen. And I want to be clear here. I am not happy with Pred. I am more mad at him than I think y'all ever will be. The fact that once again I'm over here saving that fucking child, all right, is ridiculous. But it's not about Pred for me. I want to, when I walk out of this office, but when there's new justices, when there's a new person running Sama, that they have a system that just makes sense and children can be given the keys. You know what I
that
mean?
would be perfect.
And unfortunately, we are tasked with making sure all of this makes sense.
Yes, that's my constant struggle. Because my god, is it hard to make an entirely new system make perfect sense?
I was looking through it. There's nothing. I guess nobody thought about what if somebody got an expungement and had a felony prior to expungement, and then asked for a diversion program.
Sorry,
But technically, that wouldn't be their. So if the diversion program states that if somebody receives a felony for their first time, then they can request this program, but it doesn't mention anything about if somebody gets expunged or not. So I'm not sure if it still applies to people who got expunged or not.
I think
I think
that
it does.
is, I think once again, this is due. I'm pointing back at due process. Is due process was and should have been afforded during the court case, right? But obviously, scheduling issues prevented that. And
Mhm.
once again, I'm not pointing at you for it, but that is a reality. And so that thing would have probably been determined. Like you would have had to determine that then and be like, okay, does it apply? Does it not apply? I would argue it would, based on your the ruling that you made as to what expungement meant due to. I have really good memory. I know.
Good luck.
Due to the conclusion you yourself had in what an expungement meant, and by going by that definition, it whatever happened in the past didn't, and therefore this would be his first. But even if you had an alternative opinion, once again, that would have needed to be deliberated on as a part of that original due process.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if we woke up and there was an impeachment filed for Kyle, we would be like, "Wait, what?" But then we will look at it and we'll be like, "Oh, okay, let's see how this goes." Right? It's just I don't know. Kind of feels like there's a whole due process set up for this type of situation that was fully ignored.
Just like looking through documentation.
To me, this is like
By
I don't know,
judges as
man.
well.
Like it's just
Mhm.
yeah, that's the thing that scares me. Is like, bro, like
didn't-
it's so fucking brain dead. Like genuinely, it to me, it's like yo, cops sending people up for the nines just out of nowhere type shit. Like, I don't want to press too heavily. I don't know. It's I don't know.
This whole thing's a mess. I, in all previous government systems here, from my understanding, as well as how it has been communicated, including on the docket posting of the initial judicial election, it has always been, and states there, that felons are ineligible to hold office.
Mm-hmm.
But this does state that they're impeachable for it, so I'm not sure.